And then there were 4. Dublin and Tyrone in football's the 2nd of September final, Limerick and Galway in hurling's the 19th of August final. Last weekend, Galway were still in with a shot at 4 All-Ireland final places. One of the few traditions to survive all recent format changes was that of playing the All-Ireland minor, under-17, hurling and football semi-finals as curtain raisers to the senior, full first-team games at Dublin's neutral Croke Park. Galway qualified for both hurling finals and their minor footballers won their semi-final last Saturday afternoon, the curtain raiser to their seniors' efforts to dethrone Dublin. Ah well. To slightly recoin a phrase, 3 out of 4 ain't bad, I suppose. 4 out of 4 was momentarily on. After 7 minutes, Galway's bull in a china shop forward Damien Comer ended Dublin's early scoreboard dominance by punching Kieran Duggan's high ball into the net. Galway led a minute later. And, on 10 minutes, a charging Comer was upended for a penalty, which, for reasons which defy analysis still, Eamon Brannigan took, having scored no previous championship goals. Keeper Stephen Cluxton was yards off his line when, predictably, saving Brannigan's low, two-measured kick. But, like facts in politics, such things no longer matter. Galway never led again. A strong spell reduced Dublin's interval lead to 2, after Conn O'Callaghan netted a fine team goal for Dublin in the 27th minute. But it was an illusion of competitiveness. Dublin powered ahead in the third quarter, ominously approaching their best form for the first time all summer. Before the break, they lost sweeper Cian O'Sullivan to a hamstring pull of uncertain gravity. But he was replaced seamlessly. And Dublin's other changes were similarly seamless, even free-taker Dean Rock's 54th minute withdrawal, which almost never happens so early, and not that often at all. The impressive Shane Walsh's late goal added the cliched, if illusory, respectability to the scoreboard, but Dublin's control was emphasized by Paul Flynn and Kevin McManaman each hitting the upright in the very closing seconds. Dublin could have won by as much as they wanted, how they wanted. And Galway are genuinely one of the top 6 sides in Ireland. On Sky, pundit Jim McGuinness had suggested Galway adopt a radical defensive strategy which, on the studio's tactics screen, looked lots like playing for a 0-0 draw. As manager, he was credited with introducing the reviled blanket defence to football when dragging Donegal from also Rans to the 2012 All-Ireland title. On Saturday, he appeared to suggest Galway add a quilt, 3 sheets and an eiderdown to avoid by 8 or 10 points. They didn't. They lost by 9 points. McGuinness is Sky's best bet and deserves better. It indicates the mediocrity of football's 2-18 championship that Monaghan and Tyrone fought out too often, literally, 2 of its better games. Monaghan's 2-point win in Tyrone in mid-May was arguably the best. But Monaghan, Tyrone in Croke Park has a semi-ugly brief tradition. And for all the plaudits it received for the excitement of its denouement, Sunday's encounter largely maintained that tradition. Tyrone were the better team, possibly by more than the point by which they fell over Sunday's line. And the correct consensus is that Dublin would have much preferred to face Monaghan in the final. But, my word, there isn't a dirty trick in the book that they haven't employed, amid their frequently fabulous counter-attacking football. After 4 minutes, Tyrone led by 4 points to 1 and we were set for a free-flowing affair, at least until Tyrone streaked too far clear. Then, tradition took hold of the match, just as players took hold of each other. 5 points in 4 minutes, then 11 in 33 as the sides ended the half level. One Sky pundit called it a wrestle, and Tyrone appeared to be allowed to do most of the wrestling by referee Anthony Nolan, who had a difficult time adjudicating an already difficult match. There were moments of first-half brilliance. The terrific, if almost as terrifically cynical, Colm Cavanagh started his man-of-the-match display with a point on 18 seconds. Monaghan's Conor McManus fired over a point with all the considerable genius he could muster. There were further fine scores from Tyrone's Niall Sludden and Monaghan's Fintan Kelly and virtuoso goalkeeping from Monaghan's Rory Beggan. The RTE highlights show the Sunday game that night made the first half look excellent. It wasn't, and swaths of the second half lacked even intermittent brilliance. Begin boomed over one trademark, long-range free. But substitute Kieran Hughes' spectacular point to draw Monaghan level again on 59 minutes was only the half-second score from open play. The drama began here, though, as 2 minutes later, Monaghan led for the first time in the match, from a free Natch. However, a minute later still, Tyrone grabbed the game's only goal, their first score at all for 18 minutes, with a string of the sort of luck you simply cannot buy. Peter Hart, Misery Guts manager Mickey's nephew, ploughed a furrow through the defence, with marker Fintan Kelly arguing that he over-carried the ball. The chance he created seemed squandered as Monaghan bodies, eventually, got in the way. However, Darren Hughes' block of Tiernan McCann's shot fell kindly into half at Slutton's feet and he first timed the ball, soccer style, past the very on-rushing Begin. Monaghan weren't dead yet, although they shot themselves in the foot more accurately than they shot for goal as a frantic 3-minute stoppage time loomed, a paltry amount which provided post-match debate. They reduced Tyrone's 3-point lead to 1 after late substitute Jack McCarron was magnificently denied another very clear point-scoring opportunity by a wonder tackle from Kavanagh. Gaelic football's tackling rules are as much of an ill-defined mess as most actual tackles. Kavanagh's tackle was rulebook, textbook and ultimately match-winning book. But Monaghan weren't dead yet. Begin played rush goalie in stoppage time and Barnes stormed forward one last time to give himself a brief sight of goal, 55 yards out, with seconds left. If this was hurling he would have pointed to take the game to extra time. And he had regularly scored frees from that distance all summer. So post-match criticism of him for taking on the shot was a little harsh. He sliced and skied his effort. And Nolan seemingly held his arm aloft to signal a very scoreable Monaghan free as the ball hurtled towards a grappling Kieran Hughes and McCann. But it was a false flag. Despite the new format making Tyrone the first team to reach an All-Ireland final having lost 2 championship matches, football's top 2 are pretty clearly in the final, the most, only, satisfactory aspect of yet another unsatisfactory football summer.